So, welcome again. My name is Bill Brady, and for the past 25 years, I've been earning my living as a food photographer. I started out shooting stills, and in 2015, I moved into motion. So, I also direct commercials and I do other types of commercial food photography. I've shot for Michelin chefs, I've shot for Fortune 100 companies like Walmart, and I also shoot for a lot of startup companies. I like to tell people you may not know me, but chances are you've seen my work. This course is designed specifically for you, and I've broken it down into easily digestible steps to teach you simple ways to make your food look beautiful on camera. So what you're going to learn in this course is why great food photography matters, how to shoot with a smartphone, easy composition, simple food lighting, basic food styling, editing, how to build a visual brand, and a foolproof system to keep your content fresh. I'm going to encourage you to watch the introduction and then lessons 1 through 4 first. You should gather your equipment and schedule your first shoot. The timeline for this should be 1 week. Now, I know you have a lot of different things on your menu that you want to cover, but I think you'll have the most amount of success if you start with pretty dishes and then eventually move your way into the more complicated dishes. The lessons here are shortcuts to ensuring that you do great food photography, and I encourage you to keep it simple. Once you get the hang of it, then you could do more elaborate photos, bigger table settings, and tell stories. But in the beginning, what we really want to do is emphasize how to shoot and compose a photograph. I would keep it simple and go in closer to the food. Now, the other thing is you don't have to actually go and take a picture of the entire plate to do a great food photo. You can actually do in like parts of the plate or go in and do a little bit more of a focus on one area. And a lot of times that creates a lot of drama and really isolates the beauty of the food. And I want to emphasize to you that it's okay to make mistakes. When I was first starting out, I made a lot of mistakes. Food photography is not intuitive. It's different from other kinds of photography, and the way that you light it and compose it are completely different from, let's say, taking a portrait or doing a landscape. You're obviously used to doing a lot of different things with your phone, and I'm going to teach you what works and what doesn't for food photography, and you're going to be able to use those lessons to take great pictures. So why do you need great food photography? What does it do for your brand? Well, the first thing it does is it makes a killer impression. It drives sales, it builds trust, and it strengthens your brand. The only reason why you need to take food photos is you can attract customer base. So if you're not using great food photography, you're really doing yourself a disservice. You wouldn't put a bad dish on your menu that doesn't taste right. So why would you put a food photo that doesn't look right up on your website or in your branding? People eat with their eyes first, especially if they're not actually in your restaurant. They can't smell the food, they can't look at it, they can't get that visceral experience, they can't taste it. But what they can do is eat with their eyes. And great food photography helps sell the food. Let's look at some examples of bad food photography. Bad food photography kills your brand. If you look at the tuna steak on the left, there's just absolutely nothing appetizing about this whatsoever. It's plated poorly. It just doesn't look good. And the one on the right's not much better. The lighting's a little bit better and the composition's a little bit better. But really, it's just not appetizing at all. Now, if you look at an example of a great food photograph, I mean, look how pretty that is. Look at the beauty of that, the lighting, the grain, the sesame seeds. The goal, again, is to take you from here, which is probably what a lot of people are doing, where you fire up your dish, you want to take a picture of it, it's on the heat lamps, and you just take a quick photo with your iPhone. Now, look at the difference between this. This is the same exact sandwich. Okay, we want to take you from here to here in the shortest amount of time. So I'd just like you to keep this in mind as you go through your food photo journey. If a food photo doesn't make you hungry, it fails. And that's pretty much my definition of food photography. It just needs to make you hungry. So whatever you do, just keep that in mind and use that as your true north when you're doing food photography, and you can't go wrong. We're going to teach you how to do this real fast, and you're going to be taking great food photos in no time at all. Who would you rather buy from? The person who made the burger on the left or the person who made the burger on the right? Now, the burger on the left is probably delicious, but you wouldn't know that looking at it. If you look at the burger on the right, it's just unbelievably gorgeous, and I would want to eat that. My definition of food photography is, do I want to eat it? When done consistently, Great food photography elevates your brand. Some images make you hungry enough to lick the screen, while others fall really flat. So let's talk a little bit about why food photos fail and what makes them succeed. Understanding why is the first step towards elevating your brand. A food photo has to make you imagine how good what you are looking at can taste. Absence of taste and smell, the only sense we can rely on, is our visual cue. A food photo must invoke the response through sight alone. So here are the most common culprits behind disappointing food shots. The first is bad lighting. Harsh overhead light creates ugly shadows. Dim or mixed lighting, yellow kitchen lights in daylight, it muddies the color of the food. And flat lighting removes texture and dimension. Another reason why food photos fail is the food is too far away. It's hard to see the beauty in this dish, and there's really nowhere to focus if you're not closer up to the food. And it's just that simple. Also, unappetizing food styling. The food looks dry, wilted, greasy, messy in the wrong ways. The garnish is thrown on without any purpose. The plate's overcrowded, it's sloppy, and it just has no appetite appeal. As opposed to the picture here where this is plated beautifully. It's got the right camera angle. I can see what this is. Both are desserts. One is a brownie. Both have ice cream. But look at the difference. I mean, the one on the left is absolutely beautiful. I would love to eat that. The one on the right, I'm not so sure. I'm sure it tastes good, but looking at the picture, you couldn't tell that. So the whole idea is we want people to look at the picture and we want them to eat the food. Another common culprit behind disappointing food shots is that you're shooting from the wrong angle. So if you shoot a burger from overhead, it hides the stack. If you shoot soup from the side, all you see is the bowl. You're not going to see into the dish. And the angle doesn't highlight the dish's best features. So this particular photo, this is not the camera angle that you want to shoot to. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of other problems with this photo. Starting with the wrong camera angle is definitely not the way to go. If you look at the picture on the left, look at how beautiful that is. It glistens, it jumps right off the page, and I want to eat that. Whereas the one on the right, it's just not appetizing, and it's just the wrong camera angle. Nothing about this photo on the right makes me want to say, I want to go to that restaurant, I want to eat that dish. Everything on the picture on the left says, look at that. Wow, I just really want to tear into that. That's amazing. Another reason why food photos fail are busy and distracting backgrounds. The background fights for attention. There are too many props, patterns, or textures. The hero, which is what we call the food, disappears into the chaos. Now, look at the picture on the left. It's not, obviously, this is fried and not grilled, but still, you get the point where I'm close into this. I'm using a white plate where we can see the garnishes, we can see the fries, we can see the burger top, we can see the ketchup. Beautiful, appetite appeal. I really want to eat this. The one on the right, not so much. Everything kind of blends into each other. The styling is poor. The camera angle is just absolutely wrong. And everything about this, the lighting is okay, but everything else about the picture it's not appetizing, whereas the picture on the left is absolutely appetizing. Another reason why pictures fail are poor color balance. So the colors look dull, or they're off, or they're unappealing. The whites aren't white, the greens look dead, the reds look brown. The color of this is so off that it makes me not want to even look at this photo. It just has no appetite appeal whatsoever. Comparatively, the picture on the left now of the filet mignon, it looks like it's the same cut of meat, but instead of the shrimp, we have mushrooms. But it's pretty similar comparatively. But look at the difference. I mean, look how beautiful that filet mignon looks. The sauce is pretty. The garnish is nice. The potatoes, you get a little bit of the restaurant mood with the pepper shaker in the background. But man, it's not. Look at this thing. It's not really doing you any service by showing pictures on the ones on the right. You really need to move into looking at a photo as if it's an extension of your menu. If you put this plate down on somebody's table, which one would they rather eat? The one on the left or the one on the right? And be honest, and I'm sure that you've made a lot of photos like the one on the right where you just throw it up, I made this, and boom, and you take a picture of it. There's a few quick tweaks that we're going to teach you, and you're going to be able to be taking pictures like the one on the left versus the one on the right. Another thing is like lack of story or mood. The image feels sterile or generic. There's no emotion, context, or atmosphere. It doesn't make the viewer feel something. The picture on the left shows a tone, a place, and time. It's a setting, it's a mood, it's pretty. You have the sweat on the bottle, a little bit of wine, some bread. It's just everything works in this photo on the left. The one on the right, it's a plate on the table with a glass of wine and a bottle of wine and a cork. And there's no place to focus. My eye doesn't go anywhere. It's out of focus. So it really has no appetite appeal, and it doesn't tell the story. The one on the left tells me a story. Wow, this place uses fresh ingredients. They use the most amazing bread and wine. I really just want to eat what's on the left. I don't want to eat what's on the right. So let's talk about why food photos succeed. Successful food photography is deliberate. And here's what the strongest food images share. First of all, we're using delicious natural lighting. We light from the side or we backlight, and it enhances the texture and the freshness. The light direction creates depth and dimension. The shadows are intentional and flattering. The picture on the left is the same exact chicken sandwich as the one on the right. The only difference is we took it out, we moved things around, we got a good camera angle for this, we poured the sauce in at the last minute to give it a little, to just kind of cover up some of the brown, and we gave it a little flow and emotion, and we lit it properly. And those are the only differences. It's literally the exact same sandwich. We brought it onto a set in a table in the restaurant, and we lit it properly, and it took like 5 minutes to light this, not even, and suddenly we have an amazing photograph. Successful food photography is deliberate, and here's what the strongest images share. Thoughtful styling enhances appetite. By styling, we just mean plating. So the food needs to look fresh, juicy, crisp, oozy, intentionally. There's good garnish, not over garnish. The textures shine, they're crunchy, they're creamy, they're glazy, they're bubbly. Imperfections are controlled, not accidental. Another reason why food photos succeed is picking the right angle for the dish. For instance, 90-degree camera angle, which is the overhead, which is probably what you're most used to shooting with your phone. It's great for certain dishes, flat foods like pizza, bowls, trays, soups, things that look great overhead and are very graphic. The 45-degree angle is probably the most used in food photography, and that's not quite overhead. It's basically 45 degrees, and we're going to show you how to use all these camera angles. And then the eye level is great for stacked or layered foods like burgers and cakes, where you really want to see into the side of the dish, and it really gives it, like, because it has height and dimension, like pancakes, 3-layer cake like this. I mean, this would look okay overhead, but truthfully, it's stunning when you look at it straight on. We want to talk a little bit about negative space and using it wisely. So you don't have to fill everything in the frame with stuff. There's some empty space in the front. We call that negative space. And that kind of gives the photo a little bit of energy to breathe. And then the stuff in the back is just there to complement the dish, to kind of give you an overall feeling. None of that takes away from the fact that my eye goes straight to the eggs, and the shakshuka looks really nice because of it. Don't just jam everything into the frame. Like, leave a little bit of space and air so that the picture can breathe a little bit. Another reason why food photos succeed is a strong focal point. There's a clear hero of the shot. The hero is like what we want to focus on. It's the plate. Also, we use depth of field to guide the eye. Now, I'm going to teach you how to do all these things. I'm just explaining to you what works and what doesn't. Depth of field is what's in focus in the photograph and what's out of focus. When we set up your phone camera and go through the settings, I'm going to teach you how to create depth of field. And we want to focus where the appetite lives. It's usually the front edge, the garnish, the texture. We call it the bite zone. So you want to direct your viewer into the photograph by your composition, and the strong focal point is helpful in doing that. We also want to do color harmony and visual pop. The ingredients are fresh and vibrant. We want to use opposite colors in conjunction with like a main color. The contrast is used to simulate appetite, green herbs, editing that enhances the reality and doesn't distort it. But what we really want to do is create colors and mood and texture that kind of complement one another. So we also want to tell a story and make it emotional. Images capture a moment first bite, crumbs on the board. It suggests the feeling of coziness, indulgence, refreshing, luxurious, rustic, fun. It makes the viewer imagine the taste, the smell, and the texture of the dish. And that's basically it. So what we're going to do now is I covered what makes a good food photo and what makes a bad food photo. And now I'm going to teach you how to set up your camera and how to really create stunning food photos in a very short period of time. So let's get excited, because honestly, you're in for a ride. It's not going to take you very long to go from where you are to where you need to be. And I'm just going to show you some simple ways to do that and get you going. And you'll never have to worry about hiring a photographer again. And you'll never have to worry about not having content for your venue, because you'll be able to take pictures in your spare time. Whenever you have a free half an hour or an hour, you can bang out a couple of photos and do like a really pretty dish, or do your Insta or do your social for the entire week with one or two dishes. So I'm really excited to get going, and this is going to be great for everybody.